Hello everyone, this is NPR and I am reporter Anthony York, and I have the absolute honor of having an interview with candidate Srinivasan. So please introduce yourself.
My name is Sidharth Interveiw, and I'm running on the 10th district ticket for Congress. I'm a Democrat, and our whole campaign is about promoting equality and freedom. By voting for Sidharth Interveiw, you're voting that America will never be left behind.
Alright, so just quickly, if our audience has never heard of you, what are the important things for them to know?
Yeah, so the main policies we're tackling in our on our team with our campaign is that first of all, with immigration, we really want to make sure that people from outside the U.S. can come to the America to achieve the American dream, to see those key things that they've been wanting, like freedom, which is one of the most important things about America. Also, in addition to that, we're also promoting equality. Everybody in our eyes is equal, and we want to make sure that it's like that. So, for age, race, sex, all of these things, we are promoting the equality of all of those.
Well, there goes a few questions from my list, but let's get to some policies that you haven't quite addressed yet. As running for the 10th district of Texas, you will be representing many in Austin. And one of the biggest issues that Austin is facing right now is massive amounts of homelessness. What is your plan to address that issue?
Look, I mean, I've grown up in Austin all my life, and I'm a natural-born Austinite. I have seen everything from Zilker Park and gone to the big festivals and seen people from all walks of life in Austin, including the homeless population. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to make this. We want to make sure that everybody has a comfortable life in America, because that's what America is about. We don't want people to have to come to America and then have to suffer from oppression, homelessness, and other of these minutiae that plague our society. So basically, what we want to do in our administration is to ensure that these homeless people have enough benefits in order to kickstart their life into becoming more successful and becoming more comfortable with what they have.
All right. So, tragically, just a few days ago, there's actually a school shooting in California, and again, after every one of these shootings, questions resurface about gun control in the United States. What's your position on gun control?
Well, I think guns are too accessible, and it's a problem because we're not doing enough background checks in order to ensure that the guns aren't getting into the wrong hands, and people who have guns, whether it be for recreational purposes or for other purposes, they're mentally stable and they have good purposes and they have a license and all. So, in terms of gun control, we plan to go further in doing background checks when people buy guns. And I'm not saying that we take away the Second Amendment, because that's something that our founding fathers implemented, but we definitely need to do a better job as a country of ensuring that guns don't fall into the wrong hands and cause a very, very sad event like you mentioned, Anthony.
So another problem plaguing California recently have been the massive wildfires that have just stretched across the state, and many attribute this to climate change. If you get elected, what are you going to try and do to mitigate the effects of climate change, or do to try and solve it?
Look, I mean, climate change is a real issue, and it's something that we really need to be tackling. And there's lots of evidence, and you can go research online, that shows that climate change is becoming an increasingly prevalent issue moving forward. So, if I were to be elected as a congressman, I would introduce and promote legislature that goes towards having a cleaner and brighter environment. Because after all, we are securing the generation for our kids, and you don't want your kids and your grandkids to be living in an environment that is plagued with wildfires and other side effects of terrible climate change.
So, finally, just one last question before we try and wrap up here. In Texas, in Austin specifically, we have seen an epidemic of vaping amongst teenagers, and a few studies have even correlated that the overuse of vapes with lung conditions and all that. What is your position on this particular issue?
I believe vaping can be a great tool for people who are addicted to smoking and need to get retired off that. I mean, that was its original intent, but I find that the fact that there are millions of teens all over the U.S. getting addicted to vaping is a very, very sad fact. And we definitely need to do a better job of, whether it's going to the businesses and having them stop advertising to the vaping as we had. There's the big lawsuit that was targeting that, or it's making the ages and making it harder to obtain these materials and all. We need to be doing a better job of making sure that kids can't harm themselves while their body is still in a crucial development phase. Maybe for those who are older and who are smokers and want to get withdraw from that, vaping might be a great way to take that first step, but it shouldn't be the gateway into cigarette smoking for younger kids and harming your lungs.
All right. So final question, kind of wrap this all up. You are not running unopposed on the Democratic ticket in this upcoming election, or running alone on the ticket in general on that matter. So what sets you apart from all the other candidates who are running?
Look, I mean, I've been born under minorities. My parents are Indian, and I've grown up in Austin. So, I've been able to see what it's like for my parents coming to a new country, and for me growing up as an Indian American, as well as I've grown up in Austin like some of the other candidates, but I've been born here and seen, unlike Davi, who I think was born in California, I've been able to see the diversity prevalent in America. America, it's a mixing pot, and there's so many different people, and we need to make sure everybody's voices are heard, because that's what America's about freedom and equality. So that's why I think I'm the best person on the whole ticket, not just the Democratic ticket, for the 10th District of Congress.
Thank you very much.